What happened at your school that still doesn't feel real? I was in 7th grade when we got this new substitute teacher for social studies. His name was Mr. Hargrove, and right from the start, something felt off about him. Not in a scary way, just weird, like he didn't really know what he was doing. During his first week, he taught us about the Civil War, but got all the basic dates wrong. When someone corrected him, he just laughed and said he was testing us. He couldn't figure out how to work the projector, so we'd spend half the class period watching him fumble with the remote while muttering to himself. The weirdest part was that he never graded anything. We'd turn in assignments and they'd just disappear into his desk drawer. When kids asked about their grades, he'd say something vague like, "You're all doing great," or "Grades don't define you." But honestly, most of us loved him. He was super nice and would tell these crazy stories about when he used to work in politics. He described meeting famous senators and being in important meetings. The stories were so detailed and interesting that we didn't care if they were true or not. One day, he brought in homemade cookies for everyone. Another time, he let us watch a movie instead of doing worksheets. He'd ask about our families and actually remember what we told him. Mrs. Dirksheide, our regular teacher, was strict and boring. Mr. Hargrove made school fun. He'd been there for about 3 weeks when things got strange. On Thursday, he seemed nervous and kept looking out the window during class. He kept checking his phone, which teachers weren't supposed to do. When the bell rang, he told us to have a great weekend, even though it was only Thursday. Friday morning, Mr. Hargrove just didn't show up. We sat in the classroom for 20 minutes before another teacher came in and told us we'd have study hall instead. Kids started joking that maybe he overslept or got stuck in traffic. Then around lunchtime, police cars pulled into the school parking lot. Not one or two, like 5 of them. The whole cafeteria went quiet as we watched officers walk into the main office. Everyone started whispering about what was happening. The rumors started immediately. Jake Martinez swore he saw them carrying out a box from our classroom. Emma thought maybe Mr. Hargrove was secretly a spy. Tyler joked that he probably got caught stealing office supplies. The wildest theory came from this kid Alex, who insisted Mr. Hargrove was actually someone's uncle who was hiding from the mob. We didn't get any answers that day. The principal just said Mr. Hargrove wouldn't be returning and our regular teacher would be back Monday. Everyone was disappointed because we actually liked him. But Monday morning, Mrs. Dirksheide pulled me aside before class started. She looked really serious and asked if Mr. Hargrove had ever said anything strange to me or asked personal questions about my family. I told her no, just normal teacher stuff. She nodded and said if I remembered anything unusual, I should tell an adult right away. That's when I knew something was really wrong. The truth came out slowly over the next few days. First, we heard from other teachers talking in hushed voices. Then some parents started calling the school. Finally, the principal sent home a letter explaining what happened. Mr. Hargrove wasn't even his real name. It was fake, just like everything else about him. His real name was David Wells, and he'd been on the run for almost 9 years. He was wanted for stealing over $500,000 from a political campaign back in Michigan. Turns out those stories about working in politics weren't completely made up. He really had worked for a senator's office, which is where he learned how to forge documents and steal money. The craziest part was that our school wasn't his first stop. He'd been doing this for years, moving from state to state, creating fake identities, and somehow getting hired as a substitute teacher. He'd taught at 3 different schools under different names before ending up at ours. The FBI had been tracking him, and someone finally recognized him from a wanted poster. The school district completely freaked out. Every parent got a letter apologizing and explaining how this happened. Apparently, he'd created fake references and a phony background check that looked totally real. The whole HR department got investigated, and they had to change their entire hiring process. But here's the part that still gives me chills. When the police searched our classroom, they found a goodbye note that Mr. Hargrove had left in his desk drawer. It said, "Thank you for reminding me what it feels like to be a good person. I'm sorry I had to lie to you. You're all going to do amazing things." The FBI agent who found it said he'd never left notes at the other schools, just ours.